What are ionic compounds? What are their importance? The important characteristics of ionic compounds? What kind of questions normally comes from these ionic compounds in the board exams? And what are the marks pattern, or how ionic compounds are formed? All these questions will be answered in a very simplified and unique manner that DP is always doing for you. So hello and welcome to your new session. This time ionic compounds is on the card for you. So let's straightway get into ionic compounds. Yes, ionic compounds are those compounds which are formed from ions, But how? Let's take a microscopic look. It is formed, ionic compounds are those compounds which are formed by the transfer of electrons from metallic atom to the non-metallic atom. As we know, metals are electropositive in nature and non-metals are electronegative in nature. Let me tell you, all these points have been covered in my previous videos. At any time you can go back there, you can learn a lot of things about electropositive nature of metal or electronegative nature of. So chemical properties of metals and non-metals have been discussed in great details in the previous successful videos. Now here in ionic compounds, as I've told you, electrons are transferred from metals. Why this transfer takes place? Why metals loves to lose electron? They tends to lose electron from their valence shell to become stable and to occupy nearest inert gas electronic configuration, which gives them stability. Similarly, non-metals, they have a tendency to gain electrons in their valence shell. Why they gain electron to complete their octet? It's very simple. They want to achieve stability by acquiring nearest inert gas electronic configuration. So we observe that metals or non-metals which are very reactive means they are unstable in the atomic form, and they love to lose or love to gain electrons in order to become stable. We say they acquire octet configuration. Octet configuration is nothing but a state of 8 electrons in their last shell except helium, because helium has got only one shell, that is K shell, and K shell has a maximum capacity of holding 2 electrons. Without wasting time, let's take an example of formation of ionic compound, a very simple one जिसके बगैर खाना फीका हो जाता है. Yes, सोडियम क्लोराइड, आपका बहुत ही फेवरेट सोडियम क्लोराइड. सोडियम क्लोराइड कॉमन सॉल्ट को कहते हैं, नमक को कहते हैं हम. ये नमक का इम्पोर्टेंस ज़िंदगी में बहुत ज़्यादा है. ऐसे तो हम कभी भी इसको वैल्यू नहीं देते. खाना का ज़्यादा तारीफ करते हैं कि ये शाही पनीर इतना ज़बरदस्त है, ये मलाई कोफ्ता बहुत डिलीशियस है, या फिर कुछ भी खाना बहुत टेस्टी है. लेकिन जब ये नमक या फिर थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाए तब समझ में आता है सॉल्ट का वैल्यू. या फिर जिस दिन नमक गायब है और पड़ोसी से नमक मांगने की नौबत आ जाती है. कभी कभी ऐसा हुआ भी है कि आपके साथ हुआ है. इंक्वायर from your home. Jokes apart, let's straightway get into a reaction here. Sodium. जैसे कि मैंने बताया, आपको एटॉमिक नंबर बहुत हेल्पफुल रहेगा. इसके एटॉमिक नंबर है 11 और मास नंबर है 23. दिस 11 इज वेरी की हियर. तो हम देखेंगे के, एल और एम शेल में ये 11 इलेक्ट्रॉन कैसे, थोड़ा सा लाइट की कभी है. यस, now here K, L and M shell में one more light I need to switch on here. Yeah, now it's quite bright here. Now यहाँ पर you know K has a maximum capacity of 2 electron. 8 electrons will go to, next 8 will go to L shell, because L has a maximum capacity of holding 8 electrons, and M shell the last one, because 2 plus 8 10 plus 1, simple maths, only addition, no need to make things complicated. M shell has 1 electron. Now this shell, the last shell, as I've discussed in my previous videos, is called as the valence shell, the last shell, and the electrons present in the last shell plays a very crucial role to decide whether the particular atom is reactive or not, whether a particular nonmetal is reactive or not. So here it has only one electron. Sodium have a tendency to lose this single electron, so that it has a complete inner shell. So here now 8 plus 2 10, that means it's acquiring a nearest neon gas configuration if it loses this one. So sodium, what it will have a tendency, it will have a tendency to lose electron and get changed to sodium ion. By the sodium ion, again sodium ion is more stable obviously than sodium, because it has a inert gas electronic configuration of neon. Now let's see what happens to its counterpart chlorine. Now chlorine we know 7935.5. Why it has fractional atomic mass? That's again important, because chlorine has two isotopes and their weighted mean average comes out to be 35.5. I will make a small crisp video about this fractional atomic mass, because this is also again very important, but later on sometime. Now let's check about this 17 is important, the atomic number. Now here we'll do electronic configuration. You should be very comfortable in electronic configuration. Now in K shell to L shell 8, 2 plus 8 10, and the remaining 7 electrons will go to M shell. Remember, if M shell has 8 electrons, then it is more stable. So chlorine is in need of 1 electron to complete its octet, as I say, to achieve stability. So it needs 1 more to achieve stability if it has that. So the electron lost by sodium will be gained by chlorine. One's loss is another's gain. So chlorine plus 1 electron, it will be accepting from sodium and it will convert to chloride ion. Yes, chloride ion. Why chloride ion? Very simple. Now you should be able to answer, because it is more stable. How it is more stable than chlorine? Because it has a configuration of, now chloride ion has a configuration of 2, 8 and 8. It has already acquired 1 electron more. That's why chlorine is electronegative in nature. That's how. So sodium ion gives you sodium plus chlorine and it forms ultimately sodium chloride. This is a ionic salt. Ionic salt, how can you recognize? Very easily. It has a cation and it has an anion part. Cation part obviously is of the metal, and the non-metallic part, that is the anion, is from non-metal obviously. Let's take another example of electron dot structures of magnesium chloride and aluminum chloride very fast. I need space here. You have to put pen to paper and practice a lot, especially the electron transfer concept you have to understand. But before that, just go through the atomic number. The atomic numbers are key here, because if you don't know the atomic numbers, it will be difficult. Many times it will be not provided. Now here, let's study the formation of magnesium chloride. Very simple. Magnesium chloride, MgCl2, how it is formed. Let's see. Now magnesium, whenever I will be drawing now, I'll be depicting only the valence shell, the electrons present in the valence shell, because they are key to us, because that's the electron present in the valence shell, they only participate in the reaction. So they are very important for us rather than the inner orbitals. Now here magnesium, Klm for magnesium, how many electron? Magnesium has atomic number of 12. Remember, 2, 8, and so it has 2 electrons in the. And chlorine, we know, is 17 atomic number. So 2, 8, and 7. It will love to lose 2 electron and it will love to gain 1 electron. Now magnesium, what happens? Now let's draw here so that at a go I can draw nicely for you. Magnesium, remember, and chlorine here. Again, remember, chlorine has 7 electrons in the valence shell. So let's draw 2, 4, 5, 6, and 1 electron. Remember, 6, 1, 7. See here, be careful. I'm not drawing at the center, a bit below here, and draw it nicely. Similarly, another chlorine draw here. Again, same replica, 6 and 1 below here. This magnesium will transfer, love to lose 1 electron to chlorine here, and the other electron will go to this vacant place. Remember the arrowhead exactly perfectly here. Now this means what? This means what? Mg is losing 2 electron. Mg is losing 2 electron to two different chlorine atom, and chlorine atom are in turn becoming stable by gaining 1 electron each in their valence shell. So chlorine will gain this 1 electron, and actually there are 2 chlorine, so it will gain so chloride, 2 chloride. Now here, this is how Mg2 plus and chlorine part I will be writing here. So now I will be showing here. It has now 8, but it has acquired a negative state, but it has 2 chlorine. This is how you will be showing here. And finally MgCl2. How can I draw the structure of aluminium oxide? Let's try. I need space here. I have to rub it fast for you. Now try to follow the pattern here. Aluminium, Al2 aluminium oxide. What you do? Take oxygen first in alternate places at reasonable distance from each other, then draw aluminium in between, and oxygen has how many electrons in the valence shell? 6 electrons in the valence shell, because the atomic number of oxygen is 8. So 2 and 6, and aluminium has, so draw a pattern here. So similarly, 2 facing the oxygen, 1, because aluminium, let's explain here. Aluminium has atomic number of 13, 27. So the K shell, first electronic distribution you should know, 13, 2, 8 and 3, very easy. So it has 3 electrons in its valence shell. Aluminium converts to aluminum ion, to stable aluminum ion, by losing 3 electrons. It shows aluminum is also electropositive. And oxygen in turn has a tendency to accept 2 electrons to form 2 oxide ion. This is oxide ion. All the ions are stable compared to their ions. They have the corresponding counterpart of atom. They have less energy. Now here 6, here also 6, because the valence shell has 6 electron. Here also it will be having 2 plus 2 plus 1 below. Be a bit careful. Now let me change the color for you. These two will be going here. This place, this electron will occupy here nicely. This electron will go there, occupy a space here. It will occupy arrow. Now at this vacant place, yes, Al2O3. This is how Al2O3 is formed. These are really very engrossing and very interesting. But first of all, you have to decide, you have to put pen to paper, practice a lot, then you will become perfect. So praying for your success and for your wonderful life ahead. Till then, bye bye and take care, and DP is going to meet you in our next very useful videos. So till then, bye bye.